Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see about the properties of whole numbers. In our previous videos we learnt about natural numbers, whole numbers, number line and operations on number line. So now today we are going to learn about the properties of whole numbers. So let's begin the session. So now we are going to start this properties of whole numbers with an activity. Okay. Children, are you all ready for the activity? Yes, good. So we all are well aware with the definition of the whole numbers, right? So we know the whole number starts with 0 and has the set of all natural numbers in it. So let us do an interesting activity with the whole numbers. Just follow my instructions. Now just think of any whole number of your choice. Okay? So I hope you all think about a number. So it should be a whole number, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to add with any other whole number. You may think on number, right? Everybody think on number, right? With that number, you add another whole number, okay? Have you all done? Now, what will you get? What is your answer? Is it a whole number? Yes, definitely you will get a whole number, right? Because whenever the two whole numbers are adding together, the result will be the whole number, okay? But when you are going to subtract it, if it is a subtraction, you just try with the chosen whole number, whatever you have chosen now. You just subtract the chosen whole number with any other whole number. You will again get a whole number, but not always. Somebody they may get the whole number, somebody they may not get, because chances are there. I have given an example here. For example, if you think a number 5, then now you are going to subtract 4 from 5. Then what will be the answer? You will get number 1. Am I right? Just look at here. 5 minus 4 will be 1. But in case if you think of number 2, then you are going to subtract 6 from 2. Then what is your answer will be? Your answer will be minus 4. Is minus 4 a whole number? No, minus 4 is not a whole number because there is a minus sign in that number. Am I right? So that is not a whole number, okay? So in the same way, if you are doing a multiplication or division, then there also you will get the same thing. Sometimes if you are if you are multiplying and dividing a whole number with another one, will give a whole number sometimes. There are some of the properties of whole numbers. Because of the properties, you are getting the result like this. For example, here I have given an example for multiplication. Just look at here. 5 into 4. 5 4s are 20. Is 20 a whole number? Yes, 20 is a whole number. Then look at the second one. 6 into 0. 0 into something. If you are multiplying 0 with any other number, what will be the answer? Definitely it will be the 0. Is 0 a whole number? Yes, of course, because whole number starts from 0. So 0 is a whole number. And just look at the division. 8 divided by 4. If you divide 8 by 4, what will be the answer? 2. At the same time, if you divide 11 by 2, what will be the answer? 5.5. Okay. So is 5.5 is a whole number? No, it is not a whole number because there is a decimal point in it. Whole numbers doesn't have a decimal point in it. Okay. So 5.5 is not a whole number. So in this activity, what we have learned that in addition and multiplication, you may get whenever addition or multiplication of two whole numbers will give the result as a whole number. But in subtraction as well as the division, sometimes you may get the whole number, sometimes you may not get. Okay, so these are some of the properties of whole number. Just let us learn about the properties of whole numbers in detail. Okay, so here I have given the closure property. What is this property name? Closure property. Okay, so in this closure property, we have seen in the activity, right? Whatever we have done now. In that activity, what we did, if you add two whole numbers, your result should be the whole number. Or if you subtract two whole number, your result should be the whole number. Or else, if you multiply two whole numbers, result will be the whole number. In the same way, if you divide two whole numbers, the answer should be the whole number. So that is what we have did in that activity, right? So the same thing in closure property. If A plus B is equal to C, in the sense here where A, B, C are whole numbers. Whether it may be addition, it may be a multiplication, it may be a subtraction, it may be a division. Whatever operation is performed between the two numbers, the result should be the whole number. Okay, so let's check what are all the arithmetic operations satisfied this closure property and what are the arithmetic operations are not satisfied this closure property. Let's see. I have given example for this. Just look at this. 3 plus 4, what is the answer? 7. Is 7 a whole number? Yes, of course. 7 is a whole number. Then the next one is 2 into 4 is equal to 8. So 2 4s are 8. Am I right? So 8 is a whole number. So here also condition satisfied. Now 9 minus 17. What will be the answer of this? Minus 8. Because there is a negative sign in bigger number, right? So we will also write negative sign in answer as well. Am I right? So is this minus 8 is not a whole number because it is a negative value. Whole numbers are positive numbers and it doesn't have a negative value, right? So minus 8 is not a whole number. In the sense, addition satisfied, multiplication satisfied, but subtraction is not satisfied. Okay, subtraction is not satisfied. Understood? So addition and multiplication satisfied. Now we are going to see about the division. Just look at here, the same thing whatever we have seen in the activity, the same example I have given here. 11 divided by 2, what will be the answer? 5.5. Is 5.5 a whole number? No, because it has a decimal point. Whole numbers will not have a decimal points in it. Understood? So this is the closure property here. Addition and multiplication are satisfied and subtraction and division are not satisfied. So what is the conclusion for this closure property? What you can understand from this closure property? In addition and multiplication, the closure property is closed to the whole numbers. But in subtraction and division, what happened? It is not closed to the whole numbers. Understood? So we are getting the answer, but that answer will not be the whole number. Okay. So let's move on to the next property, that is commutative property. Commutative property is, I have given some examples for commutative property. At last we will see what is that property about. Just look at this example. A plus B is equal to B plus A. What is the difference? What you can observe from this? A plus B is equal to B plus A. Both the same operation, right? Here also we performed addition. Here also the addition operation is going to do. Here also we are going to do the same operation, addition. But what is the difference between these two? Here it is A plus B, here it is B plus A. So what is that? We have changed the order of the numbers, right? Here first we written A, but here first we written B. So what we did, we have changed the order. Okay, we have changed the order of the numbers. Okay, so but when you are changing the order of the number also, your answer should be the same. Understood? So just look at here, 2 plus 1. What is the answer for 2 plus 1? 3. And what is the answer for 1 plus 2? 3. The same thing. So when you are changing the order also, your output in the sense your result remains the same. Okay, result doesn't change. If you are changing the order, your result should not change. Understood? Then that is called as a commutative property. Now this is for addition. Now let's see about the next operation, that is multiplication. A into B is equal to B into A. Of course, 2 into 1 gives 2. At the same time, 1 into 2 as well as this also given the same value, right? 2. So 2 will be the answer for 2 into 1 as well as 1 into 2. So let's see the next arithmetic operation, that is A minus B is equal to B minus A. Just look at here, 2 minus 1. What is the answer for 2 minus 1? That is 1. 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Now 1 minus 2, what is the answer for 1 minus 2? That is minus 1. Is this same? 1 and minus 1 are same? No, this is not same. Now can you understand? A plus B is equal to B plus A is satisfied. A into B is equal to B into A is satisfied. But A minus B is equal to B minus A is not satisfied. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. A divided by B is equal to B divided by A. Now here I have given as an example 10 divided by 2. What is the answer for 10 divided by 2? 10 divided by 2 will be 5. Okay. 10 divided by 2. So 5 2s are 10. So it will be 0. So what is the quotient here? 5. So 5 will be the answer. Now we are going to divide 2 by 10. So 2 by 10 in the sense we couldn't divide 2 divided by 10. Am I right? So what we will do? We will add a 0 along with the 2. Then in quotient also we will write 0 and we will make a point, right? So here we have given as a point. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So 10, here it is 20, here it is 10. So 2 tens are 20. So 2 tens are 20, so it will become 0. What is the answer? 0.2. Is 5 and 0.2 is equal? No, definitely not. So this is not equal. Okay. So this condition is also not satisfied. Okay. So what we can understand from this? So the first condition is satisfied, the second condition is satisfied, third is not satisfied, and fourth is not satisfied. So in the sense, this commutative property is satisfied by addition and multiplication, but subtraction and division is not satisfied. So we can conclude from this addition and multiplication is commutative and subtraction and division is not commutative. Okay. So and we can conclude the commutative property also. So what is the meaning of commutative property? If you change the order of the numbers, your result remains the same. If it remains the same, it is called a commutative property. Okay. That changing the order of number doesn't change the result. Understood? So commutative property means order of the numbers does not change the result. Can you understand the commutative property? Now, children, till time we have learned two properties. One is a closure property and another one is a commutative property. So closure property in the sense, if you add or if you multiply two whole numbers, your answer also will become a whole number. There also addition and multiplication only we will get that commutative property, closure property. But subtraction and division, sometimes when you are subtracting or when you are dividing two numbers, you may get the whole number, but sometimes you may not. So that is called closure property. If it is a commutative property, if you change the order of the numbers, your result will not change. If it doesn't change, then that will be called as a commutative property. In which operation we will get commutative property? Same addition and multiplication. Okay, addition and multiplication will satisfy the commutative property, whereas subtraction and division will not. Okay, so let's move on to the conclusion of commutative property. So we can conclude that addition and multiplication are commutative and division and subtraction is not commutative. Okay, so let's move on to the next property. So that is associative property. Okay, closure property already we have completed, commutative property just now we have seen. Now we are going to learn associative property. So associative property, just I have given an examples. Just go through this, then you can understand the property. So here what I have given, in both the side of equal to, we have the same numbers. Here also I have given ABC, here also I have given ABC. But what is the change here? Here I grouped A and B together, but here I grouped B and C together. So this associative property tells that if grouping of numbers does not affect your result, okay, you can group any numbers, but it should not affect your result. Your result remains the same. Can you understand? Now I have given an example for addition. A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C, but here we have grouped A and B together. Here we have grouped B and C together. So just look at this. 3 plus 4 plus 2, that is a given number. Both the side I have given the same numbers. But here I have grouped 3 and 4 together, and here I have grouped 4 and 2 together. Can you understand? But according to the BODMAS rule, we have learned that first we should concentrate on brackets. So here what we have to do, first we have to calculate 3 plus 4. So what is the value for 3 plus 4? 3 plus 4 will be 7. So 7 plus 2 is equal to 3 will be the same, and first we have to concentrate on brackets only, no? So 4 plus 2 will be 6. Now 7 plus 2 is equal to 9, and 6 plus 3 is equal to 9. Both are same, am I right? So grouping of number does not change the result. So this addition is satisfied associative property. So that we will make a change here. Associative property has accepted. Okay, it is accepted the associative property. Now addition is associative, and now we are going to see subtraction. Okay, that is a minus b minus c is equal to a minus b minus c. But here we have grouped a and b together. Here we have grouped b and c together. For this I have given this example. Okay, so let's solve this example, then you can understand. So first we have to concentrate on brackets. So 5 minus 1 will be 4 minus 3 is equal to 5 as it is, minus 1 minus 3, what is the answer? Minus 2. Minus 2. So this will be, will change. Okay, so 4 minus 3, what is answer? 1. 4 minus 3 will be 1. Here this minus and this minus will change to plus. Okay, so 1 is equal to 5 plus 2, what is answer? 7. Is the same 1 and 7? It's not same. Okay, so this is not satisfied. Subtraction is not satisfied. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So next one will be the multiplication. So a into b into c is equal to a into b into c. But here we have grouped a and b together. Here we have grouped b and c together. So for this corresponding example is given here. So according to the BODMAS rule, what we have to do? We have to concentrate on brackets first. So 3 into 4, 4 3s are 12. 12 into 2 is equal to 3 into 4 2s are 8. Okay, so 12 2s are 24 and 3 8s are 24. Is both are same or not equal? Both are equal. Here also 24 and there also 24. So this multiplication is satisfied the associative property. So let's move on to the next one, that is division. So here I have given an example for division. A divided by b divided by c is equal to a divided by b divided by c. But here we have grouped a and b together, and here we have grouped b and c together. So just look at this example, 9 divided by 3 divided by 6. So according to the BODMAS rule, what we have to do? We have to concentrate on brackets first. So 9 divided by 3, in the sense, the answer will become 3, because 3 3s are 9, right? So answer will be 3 divided by 6 is equal to 9 divided by 3 divided by 6, in the sense, if you divide 3 by 6, then what we have to do? 3 will not be divided. So here we have to add 0, and quotient also will become 0 and point. So now 5 6 are 30. So quotient will be 0.5. So here it will be 0.5. Okay. And now if you change this, 3 divided by 6. 3 divided by 6, what is the answer? Here also we did know 3 by 6. So 3 by 6 will be 0.5. Okay. The answer will become 0.5. 3 divided by 6 will be 0.5 is equal to 9 divided by 0.5. Okay. So here if it is 9 by 0, what we will do, instead of dividing we just write 9 divided by 0.5 into 10. Okay, so definitely this answer will not be the same. Am I right? Here we got 0.5, here we got 0.5, and here we got 9 divided by 0.5. Yes, both are same? Definitely not. Here you will get another value, another answer. So definitely this will not be the same. So what we can conclude from this? So the first one, a plus b plus c is satisfied the associative property, and the subtraction is not satisfied, multiplication is satisfied, and division is not satisfied. Okay, so here also we got the same result like closure property, commutative property. Here also addition and multiplication accepted, or else it is satisfied the associative property, whereas subtraction and division is not satisfied. Okay, so we can conclude from this, what is the meaning of associative property? Associative property in the sense that grouping of numbers will not change your result. So the numbers can be grouped in any manner. You can group any number of variables, or else you can group anywhere, but you will get the same result. Okay, the sum remains the same. Okay, understood? But here the result remains the same, whether it may be a sum, it may be a multiplication, it may be a product, it may be a difference, but it should be the same. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, that is identity property. Okay, identity property in the sense, just look at this example. In this identity property we have two identities. One is additive identity and another one is a multiplicate identity. Okay, so first we will learn about the additive identity. Additive identity in the sense, see, when you are adding 0 with any number, you will get the same number. Am I right? If you are adding 0 with any number, it may be any number from 0 till infinity, whatever number, if you are adding with the 0, you will get the same number. Am I right? So that is called additive property. Okay, a plus 0 or 0 plus a, it will give the result a. Understood? So here I have given an example, that is 2 plus 0 is equal to 0 plus 2. What is the value for 2 plus 0? 2. And what is the value for 0 plus 2? 2. So it will remain the same. It will give the same number. Okay, whenever you are adding 0 with any number, you will get the same number as a result. So here 0 is called as a additive identity. Okay, 0 is called as a additive identity. Now we are going to learn about the multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity in the sense, if you are multiplying 1 with any number, if you are multiplying 1 with any number, you will get the same number. Okay, identity in the sense, it's same. Okay, identity means same. What is the meaning of identity? Same. Additive means when you are adding, you will get the same number. Multiplicative means when you are multiplying, you will get the same number. So if you are adding 0 with any number, you will get the same number. If you are multiplying 1 with any number, you will get the same number. So x into 1 is equal to 1 into x. Both you will get the result as x. Okay, so here I have given an example, that is 4 into 1 is equal to 1 into 4. Both will give the result 4. So now can you understand? So which is called as additive identity? 0 is called as a additive identity. Which is called as a multiplicative identity? 1 is called as a multiplicative identity. Understood? So let's move on to the next one, that is distributive property. Okay, distributive. What does mean by distribution? We are providing, right? We are giving to everybody. That is called distribution, right? Giving to everyone. So the same thing, distributive property in the sense, just look at this, a into b plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c. How they have taken this? Here I have given a into b plus c, right? Then they have multiplied this and this and this and this. Can you understand? A into b plus, as it is, plus will be there, and then a into c. Okay, so here this a, b, c, that three numbers will be the natural number or else whole number. Okay. So distributive property means A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus A into C. It may be for subtraction also you can do the same, but let's see what are all the things it's satisfied. Okay, so let's move on to the example. Just look at this. Here I have given an example, 2 into 4 plus 3. If there is nothing here in between 2 and 4 plus 3, it meaning that there is a product, that is a multiplication. Okay, so 2 into 4 plus 3 means first what you have to do, you have to multiply 2 and 4, then plus 2 and 3. Okay, so that is what I have written here, 2 into 4 plus 2 into 3. So what is the value for 2 into 4? 2 4s are 8 and 2 3s are 6. So 8 plus 6, it will become 14. Okay, so this will be the result. And here what we did, we just, the 2 is outside the bracket, so it is multiplied onto everything that is inside the bracket. Whatever is outside the bracket, that you have to multiply to the inside bracket. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. First we have seen about the addition, right? In this slide we have seen about the addition, right? In between the brackets, sorry, inside the bracket there is an addition. Now we are going to see for multiplication and subtraction. Inside the bracket there will be a subtraction sign. Okay, just look at here. Here we have subtraction sign. So what we have to do here, the same thing. Whatever is outside the bracket, that you have to multiply with the inside bracket. Okay, so 5 into 9 minus 5 into 6. So 5 9s are 45 and 5 6 are 30. 45 minus 30, it will become 50. Okay, so this is what you have to write. This is called distributive property. Understood? So you can calculate it easily. Okay, now can you understand the distributive property? Whatever number is present outside the bracket, that you have to multiply with the both the numbers in the inside bracket. Okay, so like that you have to do that. So distributive property of multiplication over subtraction, this is called distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. And this one, the previous one we have seen, no, that is called as a distributive property of multiplication over addition, because inside the bracket there is an addition. Now here inside the bracket there is a subtraction. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Division by 0 is not defined. So division by 0 is not defined. What is this? What is the meaning of division? Division means it's sharing equally, right? When you have 6 chocolates, and if you want to divide that 6 chocolates with the 4 people, 3 people means what we will do? We will give 2 chocolates for everybody, right? 3 people are there, so we have given 2 chocolates for everybody. So everyone is getting the chocolates equally. So division means it's sharing equally. Okay, so when you are sharing the chocolates with the 0 people, then what will you get? How it will be? How many chocolates the people will get? You are dividing this 12 chocolates among 0 people. Each person will get how many chocolates? Definitely you cannot able to do that, right? Does that question even make a sense? No, definitely not. It doesn't make a sense. How can we share the things with the 0 people? Definitely we can't, right? So that is what given here. So when you are divided by 0, it does not have a value. Okay, if you are dividing any number by 0, for example, if you are dividing 8 divided by 0, your answer, definitely you can't get any answer. How can you divide 8 by 0? You can't, right? You are having 8 chocolates, you have to share with 0 people. Can you able to share that? No, definitely you can't. So what will be the answer? Infinity. Understood? So that is what it is called as a undefined. It's not defined. Okay, so division by 0 is not defined. Understood? So let's move on to the example problems in your book. So now we are going to see example 12. Okay, and the question is, Identify the property demonstrated by the following statements. They have given two statements. We have to find out which property they have used. Okay, so let's move on to the question. The first statement is 43 into 24 is equal to 24 into 43. So what they have given? They have given the same numbers, but they have changed the order. So if you are changing the order, what is that property? Closure property means when you are adding or multiplying or subtracting or dividing, you will get the whole number. And commutative property means when you are changing the order, your result does not change. So this statement denotes commutative property, because here we have changed the order. Okay, so this is called commutative property of, here we have multiplication only, no? So that also you have to write commutative property of multiplication. If there is an addition, how will you write? Commutative property of addition. Can you understand? So now let's move on to the next one, that is 87 into 34. The what they have given, 34 they have divided into 40 minus 6. Okay, 34 they have written as 87 into 40 minus 6. 40 minus 6 also 34. Now then what they have did, they have multiplied this 87 with 40 and 6. So outside the number that was multiplied by the inside numbers, whatever is present inside the brackets. So what is this property? Just now we have seen. What is that property? Distributive property. Yes, very good. So but here we have subtraction, right? Inside, in between two brackets, what is that operation given here? Subtraction. So what we have to write? Distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. Can you understand? So let's move on to the next question. That is example 13. Example 13 in your book. Add the following numbers using the associative property. Associative property in the sense, if you are grouping the numbers, that grouping of numbers will not change the result. Understood? So that is called associative property. And here they have given two questions, two numbers they have given. Okay. First one is a 43 plus 64 plus 57. So now what we are going to do, we can group anywhere, right? So I am going to group 43 and 57 together. So I have written in an increasing order and I am going to group 43 plus 57. You can group anywhere, that is your own choice. Okay. So 43 plus 57 and then 64. So according to BODMAS rule, we have to concentrate on brackets first. So when you are trying to add 43 plus 57, 43 and 57, if you add, you will get the answer 100. So 100 plus 64, it will give the value 164. Okay. So what is the result will be 164. Now the next one will be 234 plus 168 plus 666. Okay. So here we are going to group 234 and 666. Okay. This we are going to group together. So this will be grouped and 168 also will be there. So when you are adding 234 plus 666, your answer will become 900. Okay. Plus 168. 168 is remaining now. So that also we have written. If you are adding 900 and 168, you will get 1068. 1068 will be the answer. Okay. So let's see the next one. That is example 14. Verify the associative property. Verify the associative property of multiplication of whole numbers using an example. So associative property in the sense that grouping of numbers will not change the result. Children, again and again I am telling you, closure property means when you are adding, when you are multiplying, when you are subtracting or when you are dividing, you will get the same whole number. If you add, if you subtract, if you multiply, if you divide two whole numbers, if the answer is also a whole number, then that is called closure property. If it is a commutative property, changing of numbers, that order, changing the order will not change the result. And then associative property in the sense, grouping of numbers will not change the result. Then distributive property means if you are multiplying the number which is outside the bracket with the inside brackets 1 by 1, then that will be called as a distributive property. Okay, and that identity means additive identity means it is 0 is additive identity, and multiplicative identity in the sense 1 as a multiplicative identity. And try to learn all the properties. Without learning property, definitely you can't able to solve a single problem based on this. So please children, learn all the properties. Okay, by heart everything, learn again and again. Daily you should learn the properties, then only it will become a habit. Okay, you can able to solve all the questions easily. Understood? So here what they have given, we have to verify the associative property of multiplication of whole numbers using an example. Okay, so we should write example by our own. In question they didn't give any example. They said to verify the associative property. Okay, so first what we have to write, what is the meaning of associative property, that we should write. Okay, so associative property of multiplication for whole number is a into b into c is equal to a into b into c. Here they have given only multiplication, so fully it should be the multiplication. Understood? So now we are going to take a as 10, b as 12 and c as 5. That is your choice. It's purely your choice. You can take any number. If the question is verify with the example, you can take any number for your example. Okay, that is purely in your hands. That is your choice. Okay, so now we are going to do left hand side. So left hand side, what we did, we grouped a and b together, right? So when you are multiplying 10 and 12, 10 into 12 into 5. If it is like that, then what is first we have to concentrate on the brackets, right? So 10 into 12, it will become 120. So 120 into 5, when you are multiplying 120 into 5, you will get the answer 600. Okay, 600 will be the answer for left hand side. Now we are going to do right hand side. Right hand side, what we did, we grouped b and c together. So a into b into c. So now first you should multiply 12 and 5 together. So 12 into 5, it will become 60. 60 into 10, your answer will be 600. So left hand side is equal to right hand side. Both sides you got the same result, right? So the associative property of multiplication of whole number is verified. This will be the answer. Okay, here because they have given verify, so we have to write verified. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. That is example 15. Okay, so example 15 is solve the following using the distributive property. So what is the distributive property? The distributive property means inside the bracket there will be two values. With that we will multiply the outside number. Okay, so here they have given two questions, two numbers they have given. One is a and b. We have to solve by distributive property. Okay, so first question is 17 into 99. So 99 can be written as 100 minus 1. Am I right? So 17 into 100 minus 1 in a sense, first you have to multiply 17 into 100 and then 17 into 1. So 17 into 100 minus 17 into 1. So 17 into 100, the answer will become 1700, and 17 into 1, it is a multiplicative identity, so you will get the same number, 17. So 1700 minus 17, the answer will be 1683. In the same way, the next question, that is 25 into 105. So 105 can be written as 100 plus 5. Okay, so then we will multiply 25 into 100 first and then 25 into 5. Okay, 25 into 5. So first we will multiply 25 into 100 and then 25 into 5. So 25 into 100 plus 25 into 5. 25 into 100, what will be the answer? 2500. 25 into 5, it will become 125. So if you are adding 2500 plus 125, your answer will become 2625. Understood? This will be the result. Okay, now we are going to solve the problems in your exercise. So now we are going to see a problems. Let us try 2.4 exercise. Okay, so the first question is K1
The question is verify whether the following statements are true or false with the help of an example. Okay, so the first one is the sum of any two whole number is a whole number. The sum of any two whole number is a whole number. So just you can take any example, then you can check that. Okay, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, and then 0 plus 1 also will become 1. So both are whole numbers. The answer is true. The sum of any two whole number is a whole number. Yes, exactly. The answer is true. Okay, then the next one is the product of a natural number and a whole number is a natural number. So first we have taken example 1 into 2. If you are multiplying the product of a natural number and a whole number, one natural number you have to take and one whole number you have to take. So here we have taken 1 into 2. So both are whole numbers, right? 1 also a whole number, 2 also a whole number. Yes, of course it is a natural number, but here the condition is the product of a natural number and a whole number. So what I have taken, 1 is whole number here. Look at this, 0 into 1. Here 1 is a whole number, 1 is a natural number and 0 is a whole number. So 0 into 1 will become 0. So 0 is a whole number, it is not a natural number. But what is the question given here? The product of a natural number and a whole number is a natural number. 0 is not a natural number. So the statement is false. Okay. So the next question is multiplication of whole number is distributive over addition. Yes, we know that, right? When you are distributive property, if you learn that, then you can able to get to know this. 25 into 105, we can write that as 100 plus 5. So if you are, that is possible, right? Distributive property over addition is there. So the given statement is true. Okay, and multiplication of whole number is distributive over subtraction. Yes, of course, that also true, because we know that, right? Distributive law you can apply for multiplication over addition, multiplication over subtraction, multiplication over multiplication also you can apply. So that also a true statement. And just look at this, 0 is the additive identity of whole number. Yes, we know that because that is the identity property, right? So that is true, and you can check with any example. Okay, that is your choice. And the next question is whole numbers are associative under subtraction. Associative law in the sense that grouping of numbers. So you can check with the subtraction. Okay, you have to use subtraction for associative law. Then if you check that, that will not be satisfied. That I have explained through this example. So here I have taken an example. In this example you can get to know that associative over subtraction is not satisfied. So the answer will become false. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Whole numbers are closed under multiplication. Closure property. Okay, closure property in the sense that you can, here I have used a distributive property, but you can take closure property also. Closure property in the sense when you are multiplying two whole number, for example 4 into 2, if you are multiplying two whole number, the answer will become a whole number. 4 2s are 8. So here all three are whole numbers. This also you can write. Okay, because here I have written closed, so you have to write closure property. Okay, so this will become 4 into 2 is equal to 8. Here I have used distributive property. This also you can use. At the same time you can use the closure property also. But if you written this, it will become effective. Okay, 4 into 2 is equal to 8. So the answer is true. So let's move on to the next one. So 1 is the multiplicative identity of whole numbers. So yes, 1 is a multiplicative identity that we learned through identity law, right? So 5 into 1 is become 5. So the answer is true. Now we are going to see the next question, that is K3, fill in the blanks. Whole numbers are not commutative or associative. Whole numbers are not commutative or not associative. Where it is not satisfied, subtraction and division is not satisfied. So that you have to write. Okay, and dash is the multiplicative identity of whole numbers as well as natural numbers. 1 is the multiplicative identity of whole numbers or natural numbers. Okay, and then whole numbers are not closed under So where it is not closed, closure property is not satisfied for subtraction and division. Okay, and the next one will become 10 into 46 into 21. Here they have grouped 46 and 21, but they have given the dash into 21. So it will become, what is missed here, 10 and 46 is missed. So when you are multiplying 10 and 46, your answer will become 460. Okay. So the next one is 345 into 163 is equal to 163 into 345. This is the dash. Okay. I have written in a different color. No. So that is the dash. Okay. Here also the same way. Okay. So this is the dash. So now 345 into 163 is equal to 163 into dash. So what will come there? We have to change the order. 345 is missing, no? That you have to write there. Okay. Then the next one will become, this is the dash. Okay. 32 into 12 plus 3 is equal to 32 into 12. So this 2 they have done. So what is missing here? We have to done this. We have to do this 32 into 3. Okay. That you have to write on the dash. Then the next question is 17 into 12 plus 5 is equal to 17 into 12. So what will be missed? 17 into 5. Okay. So the next one is 3 into 525 into 10. 525 they have written here. So what is missing? 3 and 10 is missing. So multiply both. 3 into 10 will become 30. 30 will be the answer. Okay. And 890 into dash is equal to 0. So where will you get 0? If you are multiplying 0 with any number, you will get the value 0. So in dash what you have to write? 0. Understood? Now look at the S1 question. Verify the following using number line. So this is the question, that is A is equal to 13 plus 14. This is the question. Okay. So first we have taken left hand side. Left hand side is 13 plus 14, right? So 13 plus 14 that we have drawn in the number line. Then first you have to move to the 13. We have to jump to 13. After that, from 13 you count 14 count you have to do, and then you have to move on to that number. That number will be 27. So that will be the answer. Then you have to take the right hand side. Right hand side you have to take the same way. First number is 14, right? So first you have to make a 14th jump. So you will be come to the number 14. Then you have to count 13 count you have to count, and then you have to move on to that number. That will be 27. Okay. Here also you have get the same number. No, both the result is same. So that is verified. Okay. Then now the S2 question, that is using a number line, show that whole numbers are not commutative under subtraction. Whole numbers are not commutative. Commutative in the sense that changing the order of the numbers. Okay. Changing the order of the numbers will not affect the result. So we have here I have given an example. This will be the question. You have to take your own example. Okay. So I have taken 10 minus 2 as an example. Okay. Using a number line or verify like that means if they didn't give any example, you have to take by your own choice. Okay. So here I have taken 10 minus 2 as an example. And if it is a commutative property, that changing the order is called commutative property, right? So I have written here 10 minus 2 and 2 minus 10. And we know that subtraction is not commutative. That only they have given in the question also. That's why I have given the symbol not equal. Okay. So let's check left hand side and right hand side. Okay. So first we have taken left hand side. That is 10 minus 2 is equal to 8. So if it is 10 minus 2, what we have to do? We have to jump to 10. Then we have to reverse jump. Reverse jump to 2. 2 in the sense 2 jumps you have to do. So 1 and 2. Right, 2 jumps we did in reverse order. So we will get the answer 8. Okay. Now just check on the right hand side. Right hand side we are going to check. That is 2 minus 10 is equal to 8. Right. So we have to draw the number line. So see here. In previous example from 0 we will start. Right. So for this 2 minus 10 definitely we will get the answer to here. Negative value. So I have written negative values in my number line. When you are writing negative values in number line, it should be the left of 0. Okay, left side only the negative numbers will come. Right side fully it is positive numbers. Understood? So I have written here. So first we have to jump to 2. We have jumped to 2. Then we have to do 10 jumps in reverse order. So if you do 10 jumps in reverse order, you will get the answer 8. Okay, so the answer will become minus 8. Understood? So it is the same. Here we got plus 8 and here we got minus 8. So definitely it is not equal. Understood? So that we have shown. Show that only they have given. No, we have shown. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, that is yes 3 question. Which of the following statements are not true? What they have asked, which of the following statements are not true? Okay, so we have to check whether which statement is not true. So just to check the first one, A question is 13 plus 12 plus 14 is equal to 13 plus 12 plus 14, and they have grouped the numbers in a different way. So this is called as a associative property. Okay, so if it is first what you have to do, according to the BODMAS rule, we have to concentrate on the brackets first. So according to that, if you done, you will get both the values same. So this statement is true. Okay, so this is true. Now we have to. So now look at the B question. The question is 14 plus 15 into 16 is equal to 14 into 15 plus 14 into 16. This is the question. So now we are going to solve this in a left hand side as well as the right hand side. Okay, so in left hand side, if you have seen, according to the BODMAS rule, first we have to do the multiplication. So we did 15 into 16 at first. So what is the value for 15 into 16? The value will be 240. The result will be 240. Now we have to add 14 plus 240. So the answer will become 254. Just look at this right hand side. Here we have 14 into 15 plus 14 into 16. So as per the BODMAS rules, we will first we will do the brackets, whatever present inside the bracket, that we will do. So here we are going to do 14 into 15. What is the value for 14 into 15? 210 will be the answer, and 14 into 16 will give us 224. Now we are going to add this 2. So we will get 434. Is 254 and 434 equal? No, it's not equal. So this statement is not true. Now look at the C question. C question is 4 plus 12 minus 3 is equal to 4 plus 12 minus 3. Here they have given the bracket, there they didn't give the bracket. So now in left hand side, first we will concentrate on the brackets. So 12 minus 3, it will be 9. Then 9 plus 4 is equal to 13. Just look at the right hand side. Here we as per the BODMAS rule, we have to do the addition first. So 4 plus 12, it will be 16. So 16 minus 3 is equal to 13. Okay, now both are same, right? Left hand side as well as the right hand side, both are same. So this statement is true. Now look at the D question, that is 12 into 7 plus 4 is equal to 12 into 7 plus 12 into 4. Now as per BODMAS, we have to concentrate only on brackets first. Okay, so now 7 plus 4, it will give us 11, number 11. Now 12 into 11, we will get 132. In the same way, in right hand side, first we will concentrate on the brackets. So 12 into 7 will give us 84, and 12 into 4 we will get 48. So now 84 plus 48, it will we will get 132. Both sides we are getting the same answer, right? So this statement also true. Now what is the question they have asked? Which of the following statements are not true? Which statement is not true? Only the B statement is not true. Remaining statements are all true. B alone not true. Okay, so what is the answer? Answer is equal to B. Can you understand? So now the next question, that is S4. When I am added to a number, it remains unchanged. Who am I? There is a number, it is adding with all the numbers. Wherever it is adding, it will give the same number. What is that number? 0, of course. We have seen this in identical property, right? That additive identity, what is that? 0. 0 is an additive identity. So here they have given the word added. Okay, so this added is a keyword. So through that we can understand this is additive identity. We know that 0 is an additive identity. So the answer will be 0. I have given an example also. Okay, so likewise you have to do. Now the next question, that is S5. Simplify the following using
simplify the following using the associative property. So associative property in the sense we have to group. If you are grouping the numbers, it will not change the result. Wherever you are grouping, the result remains the same. Okay, so now the A question is 183 plus 270 plus 117. So we are going to group the numbers. Okay, as per the associative property, we are going to group, and we have to check both the left hand side and right hand side. We have to check. Okay, so like that we have did. First you have to do the brackets, whatever is given in the brackets, that you have to do, then you have to do the remaining thing. Okay, likewise you have to do this question. Okay, S5 question is based on that. Now look at the S6 question. Simplify the following using the distributive property. We know that distributive property in the sense, inside the bracket they may give two numbers. It may be addition or subtraction, and outside the bracket there will be one number. That one number will be multiplied with the inside number. Okay, inside the brackets we may have two numbers. Now with that we have to multiply that outside number. So just look at here. The question is 23 into 19. 99, 23 into 99. So as per the distributive property, we have to write two numbers inside the bracket, right? So 99 can be written as 100 minus 1. Am I right? So now we are going to multiply 23 into 100 and 23 into 1. Then what is in between? Minus sign, because here we have subtraction, right? 100 minus 1. So definitely here also we have to use the minus sign. Okay, so 23 into 100 it will give 2300, and 23 into 1 it will be 23. So if you subtract 2300 minus 23, you will get the answer. So likewise, just look at here, 234 into 256 minus 234 into 56. So this is also a distributive law, because just look at here, here also 234, here also 234. This is same number. This number alone has changed, this and this has changed, right? So definitely it will be the distributive property. But what is the distributive property? A into B minus C is equal to A into B minus A into C. Am I right? So here they have given this as a question they have given. So what we have to write? We have to write in this format, A into B minus C. So this you have to write as it is. Then 234 is common, right? So 234 into 256 minus 56. Understood? Then whatever is present inside the bracket, that we have to perform at first. So 256 minus 56 in the sense it will be 200, right? So 234 into 200, we will get 46,800 answer. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one. That is A1. Question number A1. Rahul has 5 packets of pencils with 4 pencils in each packet. Shyam has 4 packets of pencils with 5 pencils in each packet. Who has more pencils? So here they have given Rahul and Shyam. There are 2 boys, and Rahul have 5 packets of pencils, and in one packet they have 4 packets in it. Okay, so 5 into 4. And Shyam, he has 4 packets of pencil, but in one packet he have 5 pencils. So 4 into 5. So now we have to compare, right? We need to find out who has more pencil. So we are going to compare. That's why I have written R is equal to S. We are going to compare the Rahul and Shyam. Okay. So now Rahul has 5 into 4. 5 packets. In one packet 4 pencils. Shyam has 4 packets and 5 pencils in one packet. So 5 into 4 is equal to 4 into 5. Then both will give the same number, right? Because of closure property. Not closure. Associative property. Okay, so now the answer will be Rahul and Shyam both have 20 pencils. Now just look at the second question, that is A2. There are 12 boxes with 6 balls each. If 4 balls are taken away from each box, how many balls will be left in the boxes? Use the distributive property to find the answer. They have given the property name. So definitely we have to use the distributive property. And what is the question about? There are 12 boxes are there. In one box 6 balls are there. Okay. So in one box 6 balls are there. What are we doing? We are taking away from the boxes. Each box we are taking away 4 balls. Only 6 balls are there in each box. We have taken away 4 balls. Now how many balls will be left in the boxes? Only 2. So what operation we did? 6 minus 4. Am I right? So we have to write 6 minus 4 inside the bracket. Now we have to find out how many boxes are there totally. Then what we will do? Now every box have only 2 balls, and there are 12 boxes are there. Then how will you find out the total number of balls? We will multiply, right? So 12 into 2. Am I right? So 2, how did you find 2? 6 minus 4. So we have written as 12 into 6 minus 4. Okay, so as per the BORDMAS rule, what we will do? 6 minus 4, we will do at first, right? So you will get 2. Then 12 into 2, you will get 24. But here, like that we can do it. But here in the question itself, they mentioned we have to use the distributive property. So because of that, we are doing like this. So 12 we are going to multiply with the 6 and 4. Understood? So 12 into 6 minus 12 into 4. 12 into 6, what is the answer? 72. And 12 into 4, what will be the answer? 48. Now if you subtract 72 minus 48, we will get the answer 24. So answer will be 24 balls. Understood? So I hope you all understand the concept and whatever problems we have discussed so far. I hope you all understand, and please children, learn all the properties thoroughly and by heart everything, because without learning the properties, definitely you can't do a single question, okay, in this topic. So please try to learn all the properties, okay? You have to be thorough with it. So if you have any confusion or if you don't have any clear knowledge on this, kindly watch the video again and again, then you will get a clear knowledge on this. Thanks for watching. Thank you.